Book 101's all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He's the founder of Caters Mexico, Cancun based German tour operator, redefining private travel with bold vision, none other than Mr. K. Honig.
Good evening. How is everybody?
Welcome to Book 101, Mr. K, and we are so awesome. Excellent for sure. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
Certainly. Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you for having me as well. Like you already said, my name is Kay. Born and grown up in Berlin, Germany. And about 13 years ago, I moved to Mexico, where I started working as a tour guide and uh, now running for over 10 years my own tour company. Um, Very passionate about it, and yeah, uh, hope to share a couple of stories. What brought me here today?
Definitely, Mr. K. Honig. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And let's talk about Cancun based tour operator. Okay, what inspired focus on this business, and beyond obvious timeshare pitches, what new scam target Cancun Rivera Maya tourists today as you are promoting?
Well, what comes to mind when you think about Cancun, usually it is well, Mexico itself. Many people are concerned about the safety, and I consider this part of Mexico as one of the safest parts of Mexico. So we certainly do not worry about that. Like I said, living 13 years here now, and I have never experienced any insecurities. I don't want to say that there are no issues with security, but again, we consider that as one of the safest spots in Mexico. Everybody is very attentive. Everybody is in hospitality. We're depending a lot on the tourism sector. And speaking about tours, there are so many things to do. We are so fortunate here with this beautiful part of Mexico. We're on the southeastern part of Mexico, the Mexican Caribbean. So there are snorkeling activities where you can go reef snorkeling. We have the second largest coral reef right in front of us. There are so-called cenotes, which are sinkholes with crystal clear fresh water. You can explore and go snorkeling as well. And as well, we're very fortunate history-wise with Mayan ruins or Mayan ancient archaeological sites. So there's plenty to do here. And when someone is reaching out to us saying, "Hey, what can we do?" It is always, well, we need to narrow it down. What are you interested in? Are you a water guy? Are you ziplining or adventurous? A bit more of a history buff or nature? We have a huge national park in the south of Tulum where you can get to see wild dolphins, crocodiles, manatees, over 370 species of birds. So there's plenty to do here.
Definitely. And Mr. K, if you compare Cancun to Acapulco itself, what is the big difference?
Um, First thing that comes to mind is the color of the ocean. The Mexican Caribbean is turquoise colors, bright blue turquoise colors. And if you're looking at the west coast of Mexico, there we have the Pacific, which is dark blue, colder. Um, For the rest, both locations are tourism-wise very fortunate and many things to do.
Mr. K, what the red flags indicate a tour operator cuts corners, like safety, overcrowding, or fake or eco claims?
That is a great question, and I'm glad you asked it because there's a lot. a lot to educate, and we spend a lot of time to educate people on a couple of things. Red flags could be if it is too cheap or too good to be true. It's probably not true or too good. As you mentioned in the timeshare pitches, there are a couple of things. If one classic example, there's a promotion for the most popular archaeological site called Chichen Itza. Probably everybody has heard about it. Like I said, it's the most popular one. A promotion for to go there for $30. As a tour operator, let me share with you that the entrance fee is already 38 or $40 ish, depending on the exchange rate. So if you see a promotion for $30 to get to Chichen Itza, including the ticket, there is something off. That operator that is offering that needs to recover that money somewhere. So what is usually happening there? It comes with either a sales pitch, or it comes with dragging you through souvenir shops where they get commissions, and their actual scope is making their money on the commissions and not on actual taking you to an archaeological site where you enjoy the site and the history, etc., etc. That is just one example. Where speaking about tours and red flags, always do your homework. And I know it can be overwhelming if you just look for the keywords Cancun tours. There is an endless amount of tour operators here, and I don't want to say that they're all bad, but there are a couple out there that are just not. Well, they do not reflect the majority of the industry. Let me say it like that. But please be careful. And as a piece of advice, or how to filter those things out, ask
Mhm.
questions, reach out. Uh, um, in nowadays, there are so many ways to reach a tour operator, and if they mean serious business, they're attentive. They want to give you a worry-free experience. So that means that they are responsive, they're answering quickly, and they're answering all your questions straightforward, honestly. And questions like how long does it take, how big is the bus, or how many people are joining, what kind of food, when is the pickup time, what time am I coming back. Those should be questions where someone who is certainly interested in giving you a good time should be able to answer straightforward.
Definitely. And thank you for that advice, Mr. K. When do third party sites like Viator or Expedia backfire for tours? When should you book direct?
Another great question there, Daniel. What I have learned over the last couple of years is that the so-called OTAs, the online travel agencies, like the ones you just mentioned, they're at the end of the day a middleman, but they give our clients much more confidence and trust. Unfortunately, because we're working hard on showing that we are trustworthy with having reviews on said sites. We are having over 2,000 five-star reviews there, and then still they are not feeling confident to actually reach out. Not all of them, but the majority. They feel more secure to book through the online travel agent, the let's call it Viator or TripAdvisor, for various reasons. Trustworthiness, and second, what happens as well often is they already have the credit card on hold, or they have the credit card details, and so it becomes a bit more comfortable to not share that data anymore. For the rest, from my point of view, I would suggest to go always directly. To be honest, we are paying 25 to 30% commissions to sell through these online travel agents. So those are margins, very tight margins. We consider it as the necessary evil, sorry to call it like that, to be there, to be present, to get the word out that we are a trustworthy travel agent. But that what I was trying to say, reaching out directly through email or chats, we're also available by WhatsApp, and nowadays many operators have a vast amount of communication channels. Like I said, reaching out directly to them, giving them the chance to respond, should increase your trust as well, and gives you actually much more flexibility as well, especially when we're talking about private excursions, customized excursions. The ones you get in the online travel agencies, those are set in stone. That is an itinerary we cannot deviate from, because if we do so, it could held against us. Let me say it like that. But if you reach out to us and say, you know what, I would like to go to this place, and instead of what I saw on your website, or instead what I saw on Viator, I would rather go this way and interchange that for that. There is no problem at all to do that. So if you are looking for flexibility and to customize your itinerary, go straight forward to the tour operator and reach out there.
Yes, people highly recommended to directly call them and book for them so that, well, probably it will give you ease of comfortability if you can do that. Right, Mr.
Exactly,
Guy?
that's what we're working. I am not sure if you're sharing that screen. I see our website there. If you just
Yes.
scroll down a bit, it becomes way more interesting. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Speaking about the trust, we're trying to convey that because there are a couple of black sheeps out there, and I understand that people are suspicious and that they need a bit more confidence. But that's why we also show there our ratings and our rankings.
Congratulations, Mr. K. You
Thank you
have
very
what?
much.
Lots of rating over there. And what hidden costs or quality compromises lurk behind all inclusive paradise marketing?
I'm not sure if I understood the question well. Can you please repeat it?
Yes, what's the hidden cost or quality compromises that lurk behind all inclusive paradise marketing?
Um, Good question again. I I don't think the hidden cost at the end of the day is you have to make some compromises when we're talking about all inclusive. It's less flexible. You cannot cater to all the flavors into all the desires. Let me say it like that. That is the negative on it. But for the rest, speaking about all the resorts here and what is offered, they are very very focused on um, having the guests coming back and wanting to come back. It is a very competitive market as well. So that is why that is actually why a lot of are very, very attentive, and we are fully aware that there is a lot of competition around here.
Definitely. And Mr. K, when is paying into pesos versus dollars critical to avoid 20 to 30% hidden fees?
A very common question there, and generally spoken, US dollar here in this area are totally fine and totally accepted. It is always recommended to bring some currency of the national currency of the country where you're traveling to. It doesn't matter where you are traveling to. Credit card payments are accepted widely as well. Something you might want to get used to is that there is usually a credit card charge that the bank is giving the provider, and the provider usually is moving it forward somewhere between 3 to 5%. But answering your question, you can use the US dollar here everywhere, but please do not expect that the exchange rate is in your favor, because the person you are handing that foreign bill to only as well needs to exchange it somewhere in the going into the exchange booths here in the streets. They all say that they do not have a fee, but at the end of the day, the exchange rate always differs from the original exchange rate that the bank would give them. If you come here, you can unfortunately not change your dollars in a bank. You need to be an account holder. but there are plenty of ways to get the Mexican pesos. The most recommended way to do it is come there to go to your local bank before you travel and request a couple of pesos there. The other opportunity or possibility is when you're traveling to Mexico, go to a bank, into a bank, and use the ATM with your credit card there and withdraw a couple of pesos there. The bank will always give you the best exchange rate there. And I'm putting emphasis on going inside the bank because there are a lot of standalone ATMs in the streets which are prone to there have been some scams there, so please be careful. Always go inside a bank.
Yes, indeed. Be careful, people. So, Mr. K, as a founder of K Tourism Mexico and a German tour operator, what are your short term and long term goals?
A lot of great question. Um, Short-term goals is we are currently doing the whale shark season that we're going through that season successfully. There are a lot of moving parts, especially the whale sharks, the weather. That is what we're working on. And long term, we're implementing a new booking system and new websites, and we're hoping that we improve there the user friendliness, the user experience, and as well, we want to become more accessible as well with our website, but as well for wheelchairs and other handicapped people.
Well, good luck to your goals, Mr. K, and looking forward for more success.
Thank you very
And
much.
what will be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you?
That want to be like me? That is a great question. Do not. Oh no, you did you have a great setup of question. I was not expecting that one. Um, well, I'm an expat here. I'm living here. First of all, if you consider to move to a foreign country, do it. Don't worry too much. Adapt. Don't be that person that moves to a foreign country and then complains and is saying, "But back in my country, things are better or different." That is a piece of advice I would suggest to live by that, and as well learn the language, learn the fall in love with the culture. You probably already are because you decide to go there. And yeah, I think the adaptation part is very important. That you try to mingle with the locals. I know in a lot of people that moved and are still living along their own country folks and speaking their own language. And I'm honestly not a huge fan of that because you chose that new country as your new home, so you should embrace the food, the culture, the everything around that. So answering your question, embrace it and start loving it. And if you figure out after a couple of years that you don't like it, well, you can still move on. You're not bound here or there, wherever you
Definitely.
go.
Definitely. Thank you, Mr. K, for your advice. And what would be your recommended books that
Great
influence
segue.
you? Yes, influence you being entrepreneur.
Great segue. I was giving it a good thought, which was the most influential, and I think it's Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, which I have found for the first time, probably I would say almost 20 years ago. I read it in those 20 years twice, and I think I will read it soon again. It's a great inspiration that everything is possible if you set up your mind first of all, make a plan and do not fear what is to come, structure everything, break it down and go down your path. The most important part, what I learned from that specific book from Napoleon Hill, is having a vision or a goal, to aim for. And then the difficult part is the execution. And that's why I was saying I probably need to read it a third time, in order to remind myself what are the steps, not remind, but getting back on track to actually doing the actionable items of that book. It's a great book, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I think it should be in everybody's bookshelf.
Yes, people highly recommended. And thank you,
I
Mr.
I
K.
guess I'm not the only one who brought it up.
Definitely, it's a classic book that we
Yeah.
need to read it. And Mr. K, where do your business really come from, and how did identify authentic artisan for the tourism in Cancun?
Where it comes from, we are very present online. We are everything. Well, let me circle back a bit because I would like to say that we are very passionate about giving our guests a great time and showing them this beautiful part of Mexico. I always tell my guides that as a guide, we are having a unique opportunity to transform our guests' mindset towards what they experience or with what they experience towards Mexico and send them back to their home country as an ambassador. They're in a very we have a very unique opportunity here. I figured that out when I was guiding my own, and when people I was guiding, I was spending the entire day with showing of the flora and fauna, the history of Mexico, and they saw my excitement about it. They got excited about it. At the end of the day, what made me fall in love with this kind of work was that I really got the idea that I moved something emotionally in them. I had standing ovations at the end of a tour. People were applauding me, and there was a moment where I was like, "Wow, this is really nice. I like that, and I would like to give that forward." That's where everything started, and that is something, that passion. I always try to transmit to our guides as well, and I know that they love that as well. It's not an easy job. They have to get up very early. Usually, the recommended pickup time is somewhere between 6 to 8 a.m., and they are leaving the office sometimes 5 a.m. So they get up 3, 4 a.m. It's not an easy job, but it is a very fulfilling job. And answering your questions, circling back to where it's coming from, I hope from that passion, and as well word of mouth and in our online presence.
Yes, indeed. And looking forward for more success, Mr. K. And before we wrap
Thank
up
you.
our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in its fifth season as well. Geography 101 and fourth season, and my baby podcast, Law 101 and Mental Health 101. Love Letters in its third season, and Movie 101 Review and Music 101 in its fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. And
That's a
Mr.
huge portfolio, Lucas.
Yes, thank
Daniel.
you,
Daniel.
thank, thank you so much, Mr. K. And what is your non-negotiable tip for transforming a generic Cancun trip into authentic, scam-free Yucatan adventure?
Awesome question. Get out of the resort, non-negotiable. Don't come here and stay all day long or every day at the resort. Non-negotiable. At least book one tour with whoever you feel most comfortable for, but get out of the resort and try something out there, food-wise as well. I highly recommend ask your guide his favorite food. If he can bring you there, try the fruits. There are a lot of street vendors. But yeah, very shortly, non-negotiable, get out of the resort.
Get out from the resort. Yes, Mr. K. Honig. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom
Thank you for
to
having me.
the world. Yes, can you please invite our listeners to support your business, your advocacy, or whatever your projects right now?
Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that opportunity. Well, my name is Kay. Our tour operator is K. Tours, and feel free to follow us on Facebook as well. K Tours Mexico. You find us there. And should you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Honesty, transparency, and responsiveness is our the cornerstone of our business.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. K. Honig because if you support him, for sure, more and more and more empowering Cancun adventure to come. So, Mr. K, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you very much.
More to come, people. See you soon.